Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane. And before we dive into our reading, I have a very exciting announcement for you all. I am open to private readings. So if you are interested in a private reading, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. I also offer healings, animal healings, and personalized meditations if you're interested. So yeah, check that out. It's also linked in the description box below. Now, if you like this reading, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me get back into favor with the YouTube algorithm gods, which I have fallen out of favor with and am working to getting back into favor with after I had to take that break to take care of my sick family members. So thank you so very much for liking, for commenting, and subscribing. It helps me out tremendously. So thank you. And if you're interested, oh, I think I said this already, in any of the cards, they are all listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see, Gemini, the energy we need to be mindful of during this Aquarius supermoon. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. Ooh, okay. The Eight of Wands. Interesting. So we need to be mindful of things moving very, very quickly. Okay. It can't even be our own minds moving so quickly that we're just not focused. So do be aware of that. But I do see it's almost like being overwhelmed. It isn't almost like being overwhelmed. It is being overwhelmed by the speed that things are moving. And yeah, it just comes through very powerfully. It's like, how am I how am I going to handle this? So if you feel overwhelmed, it's it's kind of written in the stars right now a little bit coming forward, or it's definitely, here in the cards, that there's just a sense that things are moving so quickly, or that it's, it's all yeah, things are moving so quickly. It's all happening so fast. So just be aware of this. Even if it feels at the same exact time, things are moving like molasses. Certain things that we need to be focusing on, that we need to be doing, it's moving so fast. And things that we want to move faster, they're moving so slow. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and Spirit guides. Here we have Luminous reversed. So there's a sense of really not feeling like this moon is going to illuminate much. We can kind of have low expectations. So just be aware of that. Be aware that there's just a little bit of a lackluster around us. And that's okay. We can be, well, we are overwhelmed, right? And this moon, we're not really excited for. We can just feel like, okay, it's just going to be another day. And Spirit is letting us know, no, it's not just going to be another day. It's going to be a very important day. And from this full moon on the 1st of August to the next full moon, which is at the end of August, we have two full moons this month, which is super exciting. There's there's going to be a lot that shines forward. There's going to be a spark, a brilliance, a shine, a beauty that comes back into our lives. And that's a really beautiful thing. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay. It was so funny. I was shuffling the cards and I think I cut the deck and I saw the tower and I was like, oh my gosh, the tower is going to come up for Gemini. And then it does. So I'm like, of course, I knew you were going to be here. All right, before we get into everything that's coming forward, everything that's here in the tarot, let's talk about this time astrologically speaking. So on the 1st of August, we have the supermoon. It's a full moon. It's 9 degrees 15 minutes in Aquarius. The full moon is a time when the moon and the sun are opposite each other. So they hold tremendous power. Aquarius energy, which is where the full moon is all about community, collaboration, grassroots, the mind, intelligence, innovation. It's very head-based, very intellectually based. Leo, on the other hand, is the energy of the heart. And this energy is all about letting our life shine, letting us move forward in that brilliance. And that's where the sun is. We're in Leo season now. And so here we have the head and the heart in conflict with each other. And we can see this conflict occurring during this time. It can be very big for some of us, it can be smaller for others, but the head and the heart are in conflict. And it's a time to move out of strictly logic based way of looking at the world or even way of thinking, and we can kind of think, how can we think without being logic based? But this is a time to connect with the heart and to move into the heart and to let us move forward in love because love is the most transformative force in the whole entire universe. So embracing that love, embracing, our passion, our desire, the way that we move forward, that's going to be super important for us. Now we have Caraclo. Now Caraclo, and I do apologize if I'm butchering that name, is the largest asteroid in our solar system. She is also the wife of Chiron in Greek mythology. And Caraclo is in conjunction with the supermoon. And so is not in conjunction, is conjunct the supermoon. And this brings beautiful energy forward for us. So Caracalo holds sacred space in silence, and it's all about healing, holding sacred space, and connecting. So, with this asteroid combined with the Aquarius moon, this really helps us move forward without judgment. And we're going to find that, again, from this full moon to the next full moon, it is about moving forward in our lives without judgment. And we can find that we've been judging ourselves super hard. So just be aware of that. The North Lunar Node is conjunct Eris. Eris is the warrior sister of Mars. Eris leads us to truth, justice, equality, really letting us and leading us to stand in our own power. So we have holding sacred space, we have healing, we have standing in our power. Mars is conjunct Jupiter, which has us fighting for our beliefs and really what is correct. But remember that while we're fighting for our beliefs and what is correct, others are also fighting for their beliefs and what they believe to be correct. So we can find ourselves in opposition and everybody very passionate during this time. So just be aware of this. Venus is conjunct the Grand Trine, which is a beautiful, powerful time. It brings visionary energy forward. It brings inspiration in a big sense, and it is very, very powerful. Saturn is conjunct Mercury, which helps us focus our mind and really stay on track. So we can feel all over the place, and we do kind of feel all over the place here with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, kind of like, I don't want to work, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to focus on the details, I just want to be left alone to kind of wander and ponder. Here, that's Saturn energy. If we focus on Saturn conjunct Mercury, we're ruled by Mercury. We can find that we can rein ourselves in a little bit easier. Uranus is squared Venus. Now, if we are in a relationship, we can feel rather restless and really want more freedom, more independence. So do know that can be here. And if you are feeling that way, know that it's written in our stars. So we can kind of forgive ourselves and move forward and not get, angry about anything here. If we're not in a relationship, this can bring, with Uranus squared Venus, this can bring somebody into our lives just completely out of the blue, just completely different from us too. Like, just we're looking at them, it's kind of like that saying opposites attract. That's going to be a very powerful energy here during this time. But financially, with Uranus squared Venus, this can bring volatility. So just be aware of that. Jupiter is squared the sun and the moon. And this really makes for things to be much bigger. I mean, we already have a supermoon, so things are going to be big to begin with. But Jupiter squared the sun and the moon makes things bigger, makes things more dramatic. We may not want that, but it comes forward. And then we have, because Jupiter is in Taurus, we have the urge here and kind of the need to leave behind complexity and really come back down to earth, become centered within ourselves, what we want, what we're looking for, how we're moving forward in our own lives. With the Two of Wands reverse, a door is closing. We really do not feel that happy about this. We can really feel like we missed an opportunity or that we're just not moving in the direction that we wanted our lives to move in. We can be very hard on ourselves, very unforgiving. So do be aware of that. That energy is coming through quite powerfully. But what we're also going to see here is that divinity closed that door for a reason. There's something that's making us look back. This door could have closed a long time ago, too. But we are looking back and we are also looking forward. It's like, okay, this is done. This is closed. This is over. How do I move forward in power, in grace, in brilliance of me? And we're going to see that it takes a lot of hard work. It does. Well, actually, with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, it doesn't take as much hard work as we think it is going to take. We think this is going to be a lot more complex, a lot more intense, a lot more fierce than it's actually going to be. But we can also find that it's hard to really sit down, hunker down, and put in the hours that we need to. So just be aware of that. Be aware that it's going to kind of be like herding cats to get ourselves to sit down and get to work and get things done. But once we're there, we do really well. Just be mindful about distractions, okay? Because we can really kind of soak up those distractions quite well. Detail oriented, we're not going to be detail oriented during this time, or we can have a hard time being detail oriented. Spirit says, leave it and then come back to it. If you can, if there's a rush on things, that's cool, but make sure if you need it to get done right away, okay, that's fine. But if you can have the grace and the blessing to just kind of like leave things for a moment, look them over, and then send it out, or then move on and then go on to the next task, do that. That's going to be highly beneficial for you. You're releasing a lot of the weight, a lot of what you have been carrying, a lot of the everything that you've been carrying for other people, everything that you've been carrying for yourself, you're releasing it. And that's going to be a very big deal. You're setting yourself free, you're moving yourself forward. There is a sense of I'm going to start to create, I'm going to start to rejoice and embody and move forward in the way that I want to, in the way that I need to. But here, it's just a huge weight being taken off your shoulders, and you yourself are putting things down. You're also really going to be a little bit more firm with people. It's like, no, that's your problem. This is what you need to do. I'm I'm working on me. So that's a very good thing as well. There's a sense of I'm not picking up everybody else's load. It's kind of like that Ella Wheeler Wilcox poem where I think it's two types of people. And what she boils it down to is she says there are two types of people in the world today, just two types of people, no more, I say. And she says it's the lifters and the leaners. And for every one lifter, there's 10 that lean, or something to that effect. And so here, that's what we're seeing also. And we're saying to ourselves, I'm not here to pick up everybody else's pieces. And it's not being cruel, it's not being mean. We're not, throwing people out onto the street, but we are kind of stepping back and saying, I have enough to handle with my own life, with myself. We uphold our responsibilities, absolutely, and we take care of course, minors and people who need our help, but we're really standing in our own power. This moves us to temperance energy. Temperance energy is Sagittarius. Yeah, Sagittarius energy. And so what we have here is Jupiter energy coming through even more powerfully because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, or Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So here during this time, we have Jupiter squared the sun and the moon. That's coming through very intensely here for us, especially if we have Taurus in our chart anywhere, that part of our personality will really shine through. There's also a sense of putting things in balance, being very truth oriented. You're going to want things to be true. You're going to want things to be validated. Okay. And yeah, so that validation, we can kind of overwant somebody else's approval. So just be aware of that. We need to stand in our truth, in what we desire, in what we want, how we need to move forward, and embrace that energy and just go from there. Move forward from there. There's a sense of harmonizing things, of things coming into harmony with ourselves. And with the Ace of Wands, this is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift, a passion of creativity, of insight, of fire, illuminating a darkness. That luminosity is really coming forward within the Ace of Wands. And there's a sense of passion, there's a sense of distinction, there's a sense of oh, this is also a great time. Spirit just said this is a great time to burn sage, or if you're like me and you hate the smell of sage, burn lavender to really cleanse away negativity and also to really inspire you. Also, working with the flow of the chi within the house, the energy within the house can be, or, yeah, wherever you live, wherever you work, can be highly beneficial during this time. But you're going to see passion being ignited, and you're going to see that there was this dullness before, and now it's almost like the polishing of a stone. It was dull, it didn't look like it was worth much, type of thing. And then when you polish up the ruby, it just shines and everybody oohs and ahs over it. So just be aware of that there's a real sense of that fire and that brilliance shining forward within us. With the Knight of Swords reversed, we are represented by the swords in the minor arcana. Knight of Swords, reverse, can mean that we're being very impetuous during this time. We can kind of just charge ahead without fully thinking things through. So just be aware of that. We are also not paying attention to our voice. We can be overusing our voice, abusing our voice, but we also our lungs. So we can be overusing our lungs and abusing our lungs. Be very mindful if you are a smoker of any type during this time, because it's just not going to be good for you. There is also a sense here of needing to listen to what our inner voice, our angels, and our spirit guides are saying, because there's a little bit of disconnect here that needs to be, that needs to be healed, that needs to be fixed. There's also a sense that during this time, we can be very impetuous. We can think any movement whatsoever is better than the stagnation that we were in. And spirit's like, okay, but we have to think things through. We can't just plow forward and charge forward without thinking things through. So just be aware of this. This can be very reckless, kind of any motion is better than no motion energy. So just be aware of that. With the Tower, we are either seeing ourselves going through a tremendous period of change. We can be overwhelmed by it. We can be thinking, how am I moving forward from this? Or we can be seeing that the past 16 months, 16 years have been an intense time of change for us. And we're kind of looking at things emotionally and saying, how do I need to move forward? What is it that I desire? The Tower time is an intense period of change. This could be from when we're 16. This could be 16 days ago. This could happen on the 16th. So just know 16 is a powerful number because it is, well, the number of the card. And when linked with the Tower, what we're going to see here is that some things are never going to be the same. And we have to realize that's okay. And it doesn't mean, because for somebody here, I can just feel it. It's very emotional, it's very powerful, it's very overwhelming. And it's like, it's not okay, Dane. And I get that. I totally get that. But we're still putting one foot in front of the other. And we're not letting ourselves be paralyzed. We can be paralyzed for a little bit. We can be shocked. We can be just like, like a rabbit, just absolutely still and not know how to move. And that's okay. But knowing that our emotions do not get to wash over us, take us away, and take all our power is going to be a very important thing during this time. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Ooh, see how far this takes us. Angels and spirit guides. What's interesting here is that as the doors close, I'm actually seeing that we're realizing that something that we thought we wanted or should want, or that's how the story should go, we're realizing we're not hungering for that way forward. And also, it's not time to take action. It's like, okay, why is this door closing? It's time to think about it. It's time to ask our hearts, what do I really want? Because what we're going to find is that what we were going after or how we thought we wanted things to go forward is not actually emotionally how we wanted them to be. And so there's a little bit of like sabotage here, right? And it feels like, ooh, it feels scandalous almost. But it was like it's it's not a big deal scandal. Like, oh my gosh, everybody's going to be talking about this. But like there's a sense of it's not going to move forward the way that I thought it was. And there's a power within me that didn't want it to move that way anyway. And so I'm finding myself seeing myself for the first time. And now it's like, well, what do I want? How do I want things to be? What am I accepting for myself? Or how am I accepting myself? It moves us to look at the big picture and growth. Now, these are both reversed now. So look at the big picture. When it comes to our work, when it comes to what we're working towards, we are going to find that we're very myopic during this time, just very myopic. We don't want to look at the big picture. We want to look at the minutia, which is very interesting because we're not detail oriented. So we can get fixated on something very small. And then that thing could be off or it's just like it's not right. And so we're saying, oh, I can't do this at all. It's like, no, you can. We have to start looking at the big picture. But we're going to find that to be very, very hard. This is a time where we actually grow a lot. We don't feel it. We don't feel like this moon is moving us towards growth, moving us towards where we need to be. We feel stuck. We can feel stagnant. So just be aware of this, that this moon is actually very transformative. And we start to realize that nothing is yet set in stone as we set ourselves free. But we also start to realize that we have to be a heck of a lot more discerning. And this is discernment reversed. We're not going to be discerning. It's like we let all the energy hit us all at once, all at once. We know how to take care of ourselves. Spirit is saying the energy is within us to connect, but we're not being discerning. So just be aware of this. This moon is like it's opening us up. And so we're taking everything in, but we have to be more discerning. We do. We have to be. Don't let your pride get in the way. It's time to create. It's time to create. Here with Sagittarius energy, temperance, balance, harmony coming in. Sagittarius is also our sister sign. It's going to lift us up. It's going to move us forward, or it can smack us down and absolutely know where all our weaknesses are. So just be aware of this. Don't let your pride get in the way. Don't let how you think things should be or what you think things should be take over the way that things actually are. And don't let your pride, Spirit is saying, don't let your pride cripple you. Create, cultivate, open up the doors. It is going to be time, and it is time to really start creating the life that you want. And again, it doesn't matter how old we are. We tend to think, oh no, I missed that boat. Like, oh no, it's never going to be. And Spirit's like, yes, it is. We just have to start creating. We're going to go, and we've been on a journey we never expected. Adjustments are required. Are we going to want to make them? No, this is reversed. We're like, no, I don't want to make these adjustments. I've had enough. It's overwhelming. Here with the void, it's connecting with nothingness, with the universe, with God, source, spirit, like however you say it, see it. There's a sense of I'm connecting with the universe. I'm opening up my world. I'm opening up myself. And here with the Ace of Wands, with the passion and creativity and light that's shining forward, we're not going to want to make adjustments. We're going to think, okay, I'm on the right path. But as things are really brought to life, we're going to be like, oh man, okay, well, I'm going to change this and I'm going to reevaluate that and I'm going to look at this differently. With the Knight of Swords reversed, it's not surprising that the full moon in Taurus is reversed, where it says your dreams need a practical plan. And we're like, nah, I'm good. It's reversed. It's like, no, I'm good. It doesn't need a practical plan. I just need to move, right? But Spirit is really telling us we do need a practical plan. There needs to be practicality here. And here, with gratitude, moving forward in gratitude, moving forward in love, moving forward in acceptance of ourselves and what we want, but also our connection with our ancestors, our past life selves, how we're moving forward in this world. A sense of saying thank you for just being on this earth, even if we don't feel like it's anything to be thankful for. And I know people mock and say, oh, if I'm just happy enough, I can make things happy. But it's not lying to ourselves. It's fully connecting with what we want in our world, how to open up the doors. And by opening ourselves to love, we open ourselves up to healing in the most profound way. And it brings us to communication is key to success. Gemini, that's what we need. We need to communicate. We need to have this open flow of connection with the tower time, communicating what we want, communicating how we're feeling, even if it's writing it down in a journal. It brings powerful change, and yet that change is reversed. We're fighting the change that is coming, and yet it's exactly and desperately what we want. So just be aware of this during this moon, that a lot of complexity moves forward, and we're questioning a lot of things. So here, there's the questions, there's the what ifs, how do I move forward, where do I get to, and Spirit is saying, say what you want. And there's almost a fear, like, what if I say what I want? What if I say what I really want? It moves us, what will happen? How will it be received? And even what if I say what I really want to myself? It moves us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. We need to be mindful of the King of Wands. The King of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But this is a person, it doesn't matter their sign, this is a person with a bad temper. All right? This is a person who's hot headed, egotistical, kind of a player. So do be mindful about that. So just be aware of this. Our subconscious spirit message here is prosperity reversed. We're not seeing ourselves as prosperous. And that can be why we're having a hard time connecting with work. It's like, oh, why bother? I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not building what I want to build. And so we're just like, I'm giving up. No. Everybody has highs and lows and frustrations. Prosperity reversed. It's time to reclaim our prosperity, reclaim our wealth. It moves us to our subconscious tarot message. And this is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay? This is being a student of our prosperity, our success, our bounty, and our abundance. We have to look at things through a student's eyes, through a sense of I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm taking this in, I am opening up the doors. So here with the with the with the Page of Pentacles, we're looking at things in such a different way. Subconsciously, we're a student of our heart, of what we desire, but also how we're rooted in this world, what we're growing towards, what we want, and we're not ashamed of ourselves. And that's a very big thing. It moves us to our subconscious Luna message. And here we have protection. We are protected by this moon. And we have the South Lunar Node. It says, don't let your past hold you back. And yet we are. This is reversed. Don't let your past hold you back is reversed. And so we are being held back by our past. And we're not realizing we're protected as we move forward in our future. So it's time to say to the past, thank you. You grew me into the person I am today. Whether I could have lived out the lessons or not, whether I wanted to be this person or not. It's that connection with the earth that matters. But I am not my past. I am not my future. I am where I stand right now. And I am empowered. That's what it is. Don't let your past hold you back, because it's a trap. I mean, we can get so upset over it, right? It can ruin our whole entire lives. It can be unforgivable. It can be horrible. It can be mean and cruel. But it was done. And we can't change it. But we can change how we live in that energy in our minds. And that's where it doesn't get to destroy us. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all. and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time, of the supermoon, and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Gemini, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.